Welcome back to another episode of the High Styx Highlights Podcast presented by Smith Sports Media. I'm your host, LJ Smith, and on this Committed Athlete segment, I have Ella Bressi, a committed athlete to Mercyhurst. Ella, thank you so much for spending some time with me on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
So the whole point of this, we're going to talk about you and how you found the sport of field hockey and going to all the way up to your commitment to Mercyhurst. So let's start right off the bat. Where are you from and what high school do you attend?
So I'm from Schnecksville, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and I go to Northwestern Lehigh High School.
Okay. And when did you first pick up a stick and learn the sport of field hockey?
So I first picked up a stick first grade. Our school, once again, has such a good youth program, so we try to develop our players from a young age and then keep them engaged in the sport all through high school and middle school as well.
What did you find beneficial from picking up a stick at such a young age and being in a program that's teaching and allowing you to develop over such a large amount of time?
I think just learning to be present. As a kid, you don't really understand what you're getting into, but then I think once you kind of get your hands on everything, it goes a lot better. And I think that watching the older girls as well, we'd go to their games and it would just be a fun thing for us to do. But I think really engaging with them as well definitely helped us a lot.
And then what are some of the skill sets that you believe you bring to your high school team at Northwestern Lehigh, but also High Styx?
So I would say my speed is my biggest asset to the team. Also, I have a lot of determination, so I feel like that definitely helps me a lot because I want to do good, I want to win.
What position do you currently play, or what position do you see yourself playing?
So I'm a midfielder, but
Okay.
then at the beginning of the season, I started playing forward. But then my last years of high school, my previous years, I was always a midfielder or a screen position, which is in between the both of them. And then for indoor, I play midfield, and then I've also helped playing forward and defense. But for college, I'm recruited for midfielding.
Midfield? Okay, that's excellent. So you talked about being recruited. You're going to Mercyhurst. What went into that process? What was your recruiting experience like?
It was good. It was definitely very tricky to find what I wanted in a school because I have a tough major. I want to go into nursing. So
Okay.
finding a school that not only has that, but also allows their athletes to be engaged with playing the sport and then also being in that major was definitely my top interest in finding that in a college.
And you mentioned to me earlier you were a multi-sport athlete.
Yeah.
So what was that like trying to decide between field hockey and your other sport?
So I also play softball, and it really came down to what was more fun. I think that softball is a very mental sport. It's very much of a head game because it's very individual based. And I think that field hockey is a team atmosphere. You're more engaged with your teammates as well. So I think that it just all came down to what was more fun. And I had an enjoyable time playing field hockey with my team and also by myself.
And that just natural gel of what field hockey was to you, it came a little more natural, that team component as well.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Definitely.
When did you decide that you wanted to play field hockey in college?
I would say my sophomore year, my mom and my dad had a long conversation about what I wanted to do because once again, I also played softball, so I didn't really know. And we took the whole entire summer going to different camps and different clinics. And we drove around to every single college that was in the area that we were where. So we went down to North Carolina. We went through a bunch of colleges, whether we were interested or not, just to see what we liked in a campus. And then also just drive by to get ideas of what was around.
So what was important to you when trying to find that perfect fit for college?
I needed the nursing major and I needed them to allow me to have that as a teammate. And then I needed my professors to be okay with me missing lectures, missing clinicals for games if I had that. So I needed my coach to already have players that have that major and are okay with their players doing that as well. And then something that was also important to me was making sure that I liked the campus because you can't just go into a college only liking the coaches, only liking the players and teammates because everything changes. So making sure that you fall in love with the campus itself. I love our campus. I think it's beautiful. So I can't wait to get on there and step forward and put my feet on the campus.
And how do you feel club field hockey played a role in you being able to take the next step to play field hockey in college?
I think it was so helpful because I had a bunch of teammates and that I didn't even know, from all over the place. I think that allowed me to become more comfortable with myself. And then also my coaches do coach colleges. So having all my coaches with different levels of coaching, different skill sets that they have, them even taking the time to take us to these showcases, that was huge because in softball we don't get that. That's just not really common for where I was. And then having that in club at field hockey was just so helpful to get my name out there because I was able to attend these things.
And having so many different coaches that either coach at different colleges, like you mentioned, but also other real jobs,
Mhm.
coming and taking the time to teach a sport that's so amazing, all the life skills you learn. How important has it been for you to learn from all the different coaches throughout the High Styx Field
It's
Hockey
been
Club?
I really enjoyed it because I can get a different sense, once again, what they bring to the table, and then also understanding what I need to do for them in that moment because they all have different needs. They all have what they want, and everything's separated.
So, what advice would you give to potential other athletes looking to play field hockey at the college level about your recruiting process?
Yeah, I would say keep an open mind. Don't really have your heart set on one certain division. I would say reach out to all of them because you never know what's going to happen. There's a college for everyone. So don't be so stubborn headed. Like you're going to find something no matter what.
There's a college for everyone.
Yeah.
There's always going to be an opportunity if you put yourself out there, and that looks to be like what you did in finding Mercyhurst.
Yeah.
Ella Bressi, congratulations on your commitment to Mercyhurst,
Thank you
and
so
best of luck
much.
the rest of the way.
Thank you.